The customer timeframes in this business, Don, are typically not very linear, right? We see the growth kind of come in peaks and waves.
Sam Johnston, President and CEO of Arcadia Towers Group, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sam, what's the news for Arcadia Towers Group?
Well, the news for us is that we just closed on an equity financing commitment with SDC Capital, which we're pretty excited about. It's a $50 million commitment for us to grow our tower portfolio over the next decade, and we're pretty excited about that.
Well, Arcadia has built, bought, and then sold towers before. To what extent, if any, is the new equity capital intended to help build a portfolio for eventual sale?
Sure. The customer timeframes in this business, Don, are typically not very linear, right? We see the growth kind of come in peaks and waves, and sometimes those CapEx builds are over a course of a 2 or 3 year period. And coming from where I did as a regional developer, it can be a challenge. You build up assets, you wait for co-locations, you get 2 or 3 years in, and when you're financed by traditional private equity, who has a life of fund issue that's, say, 5 years, you get to that 5-year place pretty quickly, it seems. And so that's always kind of been a challenge. So stepping away from the last iteration of Arcadia, the thought process was kind of, what do we want to create here? And that was, we wanted longer term capital commitment that allows us to stay in the business, so we're not having to continually monetize assets, go out and raise money again, kind of take that off and on approach, if you will. And we started thinking about it about a year ago and had discussions with SDC. We developed a 10-year strategic plan based on that sort of time frame. And we really think that's going to allow us to continue to work with our customers without having to, again, go through that capital raising activity on a continuous basis.
So at least 10 years and maybe a little bit longer if things go well.
Yeah, I think, the SDC is a great partner for us. 50 million was kind of a number that whetted their appetite, so to speak. They raised 750 million in their second fund and have over $1 billion in assets under management. Mm-hmm. And so we see a pathway there for us to go even beyond the 50 million, whether it's through a nice size acquisition or continuing to build and grow portfolios in that manner too.
What attracted you to SDC Capital Partners, and what attracted them to you?
Well, I'll answer what was attractive about them to us. And there were really several factors that kind of led to that mutual attraction. And I think first and foremost for us was they had a solid track record, not just on the investment side, but also on the operations side of digital infrastructure. That includes they're in the fiber space. They have a storied history in the data center business. And they also have a wireless construction and fiber construction company as well, too. So they really kind of understand not just where we're coming from, but also the operations side, which I think is really unique to their position. We like that. We were looking for a strong balance sheet. And again, talking back to that first point and looking for a longer term commitment so we could continue to service customers in the tower industry. And I think that was very, very important to us and being able to grow upon that initial $50 million commitment. And, when we pitched them on, here are the 4 strategic variants that we're looking at, they were right in line in terms of what it was we were looking at. So, it all matched up very nicely. And I think in us, they saw an opportunity to have a tower platform that they could invest in with confidence and continue to build and grow. So
you can tell me if this is true, but it seems to me the tower industry is just a little bit competitive. How does Arcadia Towers compete with the other tower companies?
Sure. I don't think we really compete on a site by site basis per se. You're right. It is very competitive. From our perspective and being a regional developer, we kind of see that a lot of consolidation in the middle market. We see the larger companies, as they grow, it becomes a real struggle to kind of maintain that service level, if you will. And we think that's important to customers. So for us, what we're focused on is putting the right platform in place that we can provide, the customer service, the workflow management, the asset management pieces, and having all those components together. That's going to allow us to really scale while also maintaining that kind of smaller regional developer flavor, if you will. And I think it's a tough thing to do, but I think that's where we'll differentiate.
Is there anything you wish I would have asked you that I didn't think to ask?
If I had to wrap things up, I would say, I feel like we've got a really, really solid team at Arcadia. We've got Scott Billups on, who's a CFO, and he brings with him background in finance at the CFO level in both Fortune 500 companies and also on the private equity side. He's got a really nice, unique set of skills. He's worked with the private equity backers, so he understands that portion of the business. And then John Rolander, whose experience has been in the municipal bond space for a number of years. We're approaching that business maybe in a different way than we have in the past. He really understands the language of the treasurers and the municipal advisors and those types of folks. And so we're pretty excited about the foundation we have. We're really excited to grow and build the business. We consider ourselves a mature startup. We've been in the space before, but we're really starting out from scratch.
A mature startup.
Well, yeah, maybe mature.
I like it.
So yeah, there you go. So we're really excited to get moving and getting everything set up and seeing what we can do.
Very good. Sam Johnston, President and CEO of Arcadia Towers Group. Thank you for the time.
Don, thank you. I really appreciate it.